Hi, this is Relab for Runners. This is a 10 exercise series of exercises you can do if you're running. So the first exercise is what we call inversion. So what you're going to do here is you're going to take your ankle and turn it in. So you're going to compare both sides. And you're going to see if one side feels harder, if there's a restriction, if there's pain. If there is, start on the easier side, and that's going to be true for every exercise I show. So you're going to assess each position. If you find one side that's more painful, restricted in any way, or just harder to do, always start on the easier side. So Leah, do you have any different side to side?
This one's harder.
Okay, so she says her left one is harder. So what she's going to do, she's going to take her ankle, she's going to pull it up like this, she's going to take it to her end range. Once she's here, now she's using the muscles here to keep this position. She's going to squeeze it for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then relax. So we're going to do it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Short break. Again. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Now we do the other side. So same motion. Pulling in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, and each time take it to the end range of your limit. So if it feels like you're getting more range as you go through it, keep taking it to that end range. When you're done, just reassess. So just try this again. Try that. Do they feel more symmetrical?
A little bit, but this was just a little bit.
Okay, so if it doesn't feel symmetrical after you do both sides, then go back to the one side that was restricted. For Leah, that would be her left, and you can do up to 3 sets. If it's not symmetrical after you do about 3 sets, again, 5 reps, 6 seconds each, it's probably not going to get much better right now, so you'd want to give it some rest and come back to it either later that day or the next day or even a day after. But doing more than 3 sets at a time, you're going to diminish any returns you get from that. So now position number 2 is eversion. So now we're just going the opposite way. So now we're taking the foot, turning it out this way. Sole of the foot is good, turning away from the midline of the body. Leah, what does that feel like?
This is tighter.
That's harder again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now again, we're going to start on the right side. So now she's turning the foot away from the midline of the body, holding. Now you're using muscles on the outside of your shin here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 5, 6. Good. Again. 5, 6. Good. Again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Again. 5, 6. Good. Now we'll go to the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Again. 6. Again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 4, 5, 6. Good. Again. 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay, compare these again side to side. How does that feel?
It's still tighter on the left.
Okay, so again, like I said, you can go back to now that single side, now that you've done both sides, and do this side up to 2 more times. For the sake of time, we're not going to go through all the reps for each exercise. Just remember the formula is 5 reps, 6 seconds each for these exercises. The next one is what we call dorsiflexion, so bring your ankle all the way up. Compare it to this side. Okay, what does that feel like?
It's pretty even.
Okay. Okay, so if it feels even, then it's your choice. So we're seeing a trend so far with the left being a little bit more limited, so I'd probably start on the right here anyway. So what you're doing here is at your ankle joint, you're trying to bring your ankle all the way up. Now there's going to be a tendency to want to pull your toes up all the way too. That's fine, but just make sure that the focus is here on the ankle joint. So you're trying to bring the ankle joint all the way up, and you should feel this muscle on the front of your shin, your anterior tibialis, and you're squeezing that for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let it relax. So again, you do this 5 reps, 6 seconds each, both sides. The next exercise is plantarflexion. So now we went up, so now we're going down. So now you're pointing your foot all the way down. Again, it's happening from the ankle joint. So even if the toes want to curl, that's okay, although it might cause some cramping, but the focus is really on the ankle joint, not the toes. So you're pointing all the way down. Let me do this side. Okay, what's that like side to side?
Yeah, the left is tighter.
Okay, so again, seeing a trend in the left. So we'd start on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, so again, we would be doing these 5 reps, 6 seconds each. Okay, now we're gonna do a slightly different exercise. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do is called the Shortfoot. So the purpose of this exercise is to work the muscles that are inside the foot that really create the arch. So instead of doing 5 reps, 6 seconds each, we're just gonna do this for 30 seconds continuously. So the way this exercise works is that you can see Leah's foot is straight, her toes are not bent, and what she's going to do is from the middle of her foot, she's gonna try to contract these muscles, keeping her toes straight and lift up the arch. So go ahead, Leah. Yeah, and then relax. So the reason it's called the short foot is that if you had your foot inside a shoe, when you're pulling the arch up, you should see like it would come back like an inch or so. So keep going. So you would do this, come back, squeeze, good, continuously for 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna show a side view, keep going. Perfect. Okay, so the next exercise is like the previous one in which it's not 5 reps, 6 seconds each. Again, it's going continuous for 30 seconds. So what Leah's gonna do here, she's going to pick her big toe up. She's gonna extend her big toe while the other toes stay on the ground. Yeah, and up and down for 30 seconds. So this one's a little tricky. What you may have to do, Lee, if you can, take a fist and push down your 4 toes with your hand. So you may have to start by manually pushing your toes down in order for them not to lift. But if you do it enough, you should get the sense of what it feels like to lift your big toe only, and then try to do it without having to push your toes down. Okay, so you would do that for 30 seconds. Again, assess both sides first. Start with the easier side if there is one. Then the next exercise is you keep the big toe down and you pull the 4 toes up. Yeah. And again, we would do this for 30 seconds. Okay, so now we're going back to those exercises that are 5 reps, 6 seconds each. So now we're looking at lower leg rotation. So the first thing we're gonna do is pick the ankle up so the toes are coming off, the heel is on the table, and actually bring this leg out a little bit, and you're turning this leg in. So you're moving the lower leg. It's not really about what the foot is doing. Foot's coming along for the ride. You're trying to rotate your lower leg in. See what that feels like. Compare that to this side. So turn in. What does that feel like side to side?
About equal.
About equal. So again, when it's equal, you can pick a side because we've been seeing this trend with the left side. I would start with the right side. So what you would do is you bring the foot up, you're turning it all the way in at the lower leg. So again, you're focused on what the lower leg is doing. When you get to the end of the range, imagine you're pushing into something here. And so you're pushing in and holding it for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, and relax. Come up again, turn all the way in. I'll take my hand away this time. So you're just trying to continue to rotate further into your end range. So again, 5 reps, 6 seconds each, both sides. Start on the easier side if there is one. Then, like we did with the inversion and eversion, you're just going the opposite way now. So now you're checking external lower leg rotation. So turn turn this all the way out. Good. Bring this here. What does that feel like side to side?
About equal.
About equal. So again, just because of the trend on the left side, I'd start on the right, turning all the way out. Again, imagine as if you're pushing into something, holding it for 6 seconds, then let it relax. Good. 5 reps, 6 seconds each on both sides. Okay, so now that we've done the lower leg rotation, now we're gonna look at what's happening in the hip. So anyone that attended our running seminar knows that running is a complex interlinking process which affects the foot, the lower leg, the hip, the trunk. And so now we've looked at things in the ankle, we've looked at things happening in the lower leg and the knee. Now we're gonna look and see what's happening at the hip. So just like we did at the lower leg, we would check internal rotation. So now you're keeping your knee straight from the hip joint. You're turning the leg in, and then this side, turning the leg in. What does that feel like side to side?
About the same.
About the same. So again, just like I said, because we've been seeing a trend in the left side, I would start on the right side. So knee would be straight, you're turning the hip all the way in. From here, again, imagine that you are pushing into something here, and you're turning that hip in, holding it for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Then relax. Good. Again, and each time you're turning as far as the joint will let you. So don't force it, but as you do it, if you're getting more range of motion, keep going to that new end range. So 5 reps, 6 seconds each. And then just like we did with the ankle, the lower leg, we looked at both directions. Now we're going to look at hip external rotation. So now you're turning all the way out. Here, turning all the way out. What does that feel like?
A little tighter on the left.
A little tighter on the left. Okay, so again, we'd be starting on the right side. So again, knee is straight. All the motion's really happening from the hip joint, turning all the way out, trying to keep that knee straight. And again, imagine you had something to push into here, and you're pushing from that hip joint, turning out as much as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. So 5 reps, 6 seconds each, both sides. So now we're going to do an exercise that combines some of the things we've been doing already. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bridge. So they just bring your arms down, just come up into a basic bridge. Good. And so now what we're going to add is that as she's coming on the way up, she's plantar flexing down and even bringing her heels up. This table is a little soft, so it's a little hard to see. Then as she's coming down, she's pulling her ankles up, so she's going into dorsiflexion. So on the way up, yep, pushing the toes down, good. On the way up, pulling the toes up. And so this mimics what's happening in your body when you're running. So when you're pressing off, you're plantar flexing. When you're pronating and hitting the ground, you're dorsiflexing. So again, this I would do for 30 seconds here. Okay, and then the last thing is, like I said in my seminar, to me, because many of the exercises we do in the gym, squats, deadlifts, are really focused on the hip extension phase, and people aren't training hip flexion exclusively. So getting more hip flexion exercises into your exercise routine, I think, is a great thing to do. So here's just a simple way. So Leah would start with her right knee bent, left leg straight. From the same position you did the bridge, keep the knee straight. Bring this leg all the way up straight to your end range. Good. Bend this knee now. Straighten here. Bring this all the way up. Good. What does that feel like side to side?
Right is tighter.
Right is tighter? Okay, so interestingly, the right is actually tighter on that one. So again, we're going back to that 5 rep, 6 second scheme. So starting with the left leg straight, because the right side feels tighter, you keep the knee straight, bring the leg all the way up. When you get to the end of your range, take your hand and push it in the front of your thigh and push the leg into your hand. So you're keeping the leg straight. You should feel a little stretch in your hamstring. Push in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And relax. So 5 reps, 6 seconds each. Get to the end of your range and really make sure you're keeping the knee totally straight because that's going to affect the range you get. 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you're squeezing, really think that you're almost doing a crunch. You should feel muscles deep in your stomach working and in your hip joint. 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. 6. Good. And one more. 5, 6, good. You do that on both sides. So give those a shot. If you do those 10 exercises regularly, you should, at a minimum, find any restrictions that you might not know that you've had, and it should help you keep you healthy and running efficiently.